Christian. I hope everyone is doing really good tonight. You guys can hear me and see me okay. I appreciate everyone chiming in on the show and the channel. You guys are watching Angelo Christian live on my YouTube podcast every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. We do Talk with Angelo live. It's a live show that you can actually sit in, actually chime in and talk with Angelo Christian, ask me any of your questions. We've been doing this the beginning of 2021. And this is basically a live feed, an open forum to talk with me and ask me any of your real estate financing questions. We're a nationwide mortgage lender, so we help people with real estate loans, commercial loans, residential loans, investor loans, a lot of investor type loans, multifamily loans, foreign national loans, no documentation loans. Hey Marie, good evening, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And so, we're really your hub, your resource for lending. We also, again, we're a nationwide lender, so we also offer career opportunities if you're the right person that wants to get into, finance and lending. Hey Dennis, good evening. I hope you're doing good. Thank you guys so much for watching the show and the channel with Angelo Christian. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Marie. I appreciate you for winning last week. You were the lucky winner last week, so you won the prize, and that's what we do. That's right, you won last Thursday, and so I hope that Amazon's okay, and that you actually like Amazon. Amazon's one of my favorite companies. Hey Thomas, good evening. Really appreciate everyone. I hope everyone can hear me okay. So we broadcast, this every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, and I'm just going to keep doing this until people tell me to stop doing it. I really enjoy interacting with all you guys. It's a live feed, and the whole thing about it is to better educate you guys, better enhance you. We have our YouTube channel, that started going on 5 years ago. I started the YouTube channel, and the reason get back and win, like get back and win the slot machines, right? Like in gambling, you got to get back there and get in there and win. So. So the reason why I started the channel, 5 years ago was to, make a difference and educate people, because I noticed that in the lending space, there is a huge void. There's a lot of confusion. People don't understand loans and the process. And so I thought I'd start making videos just talking about it. And it actually caught off with a lot of demand. A lot of people loved our channel. They loved our show, what we were talking about. Back then, no one was really doing mortgage videos and home loans and stuff like that. So I just made a show out of it, a channel. And so we do Mondays, Wednesdays, Friday, and Saturday. We release a new video. Then we do every Thursday our live feed, and then we do giveaways for our clients. But we're an actual lender. We do all different types of home loans. We do self-employed loans, no-doc loans, hard money loans, FHA, VA, USDA. We do commercial, so we do all different types of funding. We've been doing this for over 20 years. But we actually are a direct nationwide lender. We also do, mortgage brokering. So we do a lot of different things on how we can help people. So, hey Kevin, thank you so much for checking us out. So, the reason why people watch us is to learn about finance, to learn about credit. There's a lot of things going on with it, and maybe you don't need us right now, but maybe one time in your life that you might need us, or someone that needs to get a loan, you could forward them this information, and then that way maybe it could help change your life. And so that's really why we're here and what we do. So anyway, I appreciate everyone watching the show and always tuning in and give us your support. Obviously, if you ever have any questions, we are here to answer your questions, to educate you, to empower you, to give you the information, the knowledge. So then that way you can go out there to, obviously have the, best credit, the best loan, and improve your life, right? Because I'll tell you this, ignorance in this industry will cost you a lot of money. If you're not aware of your credit, the type of loans that are out there, then, unfortunately, you probably could get taken advantage of, and you don't want to have that happen. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate that. So, so that's the whole thing. We want to just make you guys aware So that way, okay, maybe you can get a better interest rate, you can get a better loan, or you didn't know about this. A lot of people call me all the time. Hey, I didn't know I could get a USDA loan. I didn't know I could get a no-doc loan. My bank denied me, that type of thing. And people think that they're cursed or they're stuck renting or they can't, they can't get funding. And we show them, hey, this is what you have to do to get the loan. Okay. So, so anyway, that's what we do. So we're a resource, a financial hub to get you guys the information. So thank you for watching the show. We really appreciate you, Ange Haas. So that's really why we're here, is to get you the knowledge, get you the information, and then better enhance your life. So, and remember, when I'm talking about these key bullet points, you guys can always ask me questions. Okay, so you can ask me questions and I'll answer those. I'll make a note and I'll always try to get answers to all your questions by the end of or throughout the show. I did have some things that I wanted to talk about tonight, but remember, if you guys have anything that you guys want to bring up or discuss, feel free to hit me up and ask me those questions. I'm happy to get those addressed for you, get those answered. So a few things that I wanted to kind of discuss tonight is, can you qualify? The first topic I want to go over was, can you qualify for an FHA loan with recent lates? So if you had recent lates on your credit, can you still get funding? Can you get an FHA loan if you have recent late payments? So I want to talk about that because this is a big thing, especially as we're trying to emerge out of COVID. People had late payments, they had a forbearance. Hey, good evening, Angelo. Hope you're doing good. Thank you for watching the show. Can you still get an FHA loan? The second thing I want to talk about, I'm seeing a lot of people that had a mortgage, they went into a COVID forbearance, and what are the repercussions, the implications if you took a COVID forbearance loan? Is that going to affect you from getting financing? Okay, so COVID forbearance, can you still get financing? So this is a big thing that I want to kind of go over. The next thing I want to talk about is focusing on credit for a second. How many trade lines do you actually need, to get a home loan? Because trade lines matter. I talked about this last week. I kind of want to extend. Hey, Terry, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching the show. So I kind of want to extend on this because trade lines are really important. And you have to have a certain amount of trade lines when you're actually getting a home loan. A lot of people aren't aware of this. So I wanted to go over that. And then the fourth thing I want to discuss is, the big D word. I don't like to talk about it often, but it is something that is a reality in our life and our world, is divorce. And how does the divorce affect you from getting a loan? Because it's something that comes up a lot. And so I want to talk about having to navigate through that if you are getting divorced, and what does it look like to actually get a loan? Because some people, usually after getting divorced, their credit's shot and they can't get financing. So we talk about how to, strategies on how to work around that if you've had a divorce, and what do we got to do to kind of figure that out. So those are the four topics that I kind of want to go over this evening. And again, if you guys have anything that you want to discuss or bring up, feel free to hit us up, in the message box and YouTube. Ask me a question, anything that you want to go over. Happy to answer that for you. We'll get that addressed and respond as soon as possible. So the first thing I think that's really important to talk about is in regards to your credit. If you're trying to get financing, and especially if you're trying to get an FHA loan and you've had recent late payments. So if you've had recent late payments, like for example, does the PPP loan affect you from getting approved? That's a great question, Marie. I'm going to answer that for you. Actually, I've done videos on that. I'm going to answer that question for you. Oh, you're welcome, Ishmael. Appreciate it. I'm glad you got it, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll answer that question for you, Marie. So the first thing that talking about lates. So I want to make sure everyone's aware of some of the rules with, let's talk about mortgage lates first. If you've had mortgage lates, okay, FHA has this is an FHA rule, and they're very strict about this. If you've had more than 2 30-day late payments in the last 2 years, then you're not eligible to get a home loan at this time. So let me say that again. If you had more than 2 30-day late payments in the last 2 years, then you're not eligible to get a home loan at this time. So you have to wait to where 2 years has passed if you've been late more than 30 days. Now, if you've only been late one time in the last 2 years, that's okay. But if you've been late 3 times in the last 2 years on your home loan and you're trying to get a new loan, then you're going to have to wait until you have 24 months of less than 2 30-day late payments. So FHA is very strict about this, guys. So that means that, if you were late on your mortgage, last year more than twice, you're going to have to wait until 2 years has passed with less than 2 30-day late payments, because you can't get a loan if you had more than 2. If you only had one, then that's okay. Now, if these late payments are 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that's cool, that's fine. But if you have more than 2 30-day late payments, you're not going to get an FHA loan. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get any loan. It just means you can't get an FHA loan, okay? So, something to know, because a lot of people during COVID, they lost their job, and maybe they got behind on their house payments, and now they are trying to refinance, right? Or they're trying to get a new loan, and they can't get a loan because they got late, they got behind. It's not my rule, it's an FHA rule. You can go look this up on the HUD handbook. You can check this out yourself. But that is a big thing with FHA if you've had recent late payments. The other thing is that if you have accounts in dispute with FHA, that can also affect you from getting a home loan. A lot of people, what they do, they've hired credit repair companies to fix their credit, and they're not aware that those credit repair companies are just throwing everything in dispute, and they think, oh, my score went up, everything's fine, everything's okay to get approved. But look, you know what? You have all these accounts in dispute. Now you're trying to get a home loan, and you can't have accounts in dispute over $1,000 with FHA. If you have more than $1,000 of accounts in dispute with FHA, you're not getting the loan. Or otherwise it has to be a manual underwrite, and those are hard loans to get. So I see it every day where people, they are trying to get their credit score up and they hire a credit repair company. I'm not saying any credit repair company's names, but I just want to make sure that whoever you're using for your credit repair company, if their strategy is just to put all your stuff in dispute and hope for the best, that's not a good strategy, okay? And, it's not going to work when you're trying to get a loan for a house, all right? So just be mindful of that, because if you see a lot of disputes on your credit, it's going to be very hard to get a loan, whether you're trying to do conventional, USDA, FHA, jumbo, whatever. Lenders don't like that stuff. You're going to have to settle those accounts if you're trying to get a loan, okay, guys? Because it freezes the account and it doesn't really allow the credit to actually report the true activity of that payment. And so it's kind of like a manipulation. Now, I'm not casting my opinion about disputes. I'm just telling you that if you try to get a loan, you have accounts in dispute, your lender may try to make you take those accounts out of dispute. And when you do that, your credit score may go back down, and then it may make you ineligible to qualify for the loan, okay? So be mindful of this, because it could affect you when you're trying to get approved for your house. And I don't want that to happen to you. So those are some of the requirements, with FHA. And not only just with FHA, with USDA conventional doesn't like accounts in dispute. Non-QM loans are okay with it. Non-QM loans are fine. So that's a big topic. And if anyone has any questions about that, let me know. Now, Maria, I want to go to your question about the PPP loan. So this is what I'll tell you about the PPP, and this is subject to each lending company. It's not subject to like just me or general rules. Some lenders, they do not like that if somebody took out a PPP or an EIDL loan during the pandemic, and they will deny that person for a home loan because it makes that person look weaker for whatever reason. Now I don't agree with this, and I don't believe that, but there are lenders out there, because we get calls every single week that, hey, my loan just got denied. They found out I did a PPP loan or an EIDL loan, and I can't get approved. Can you help me? So our company, we don't have a problem if you took out a PPP loan or an EIDL loan, okay? In fact, I mean, to me, it's almost like understandable because it kind of needed to happen and because of what we went through last year. So what I'm telling you, Marie, is that the PPP loan and how a mortgage lender is going to look at that is subject to that lender. Lenders do things super kick-ass podcast. Hey, getting into ask a question I've already been answered. I apologize. Hey, no problem. You can ask any questions that you want. I appreciate you for reaching out. Thank you. So anyway, the bottom line is that it's subject to the lender. And I would ask that lender, hey, what is your policy if somebody took out a PPP loan or an EIDL? Land to build in our cabin as opposed to, yes, there's a much difference between doing a cabin and a conventional loan. I'll answer that on a construction loan, okay? I was actually looking at doing it's funny you brought that up, doing a cabin. I was looking at this past weekend, we're looking at building on a lake house. We have property and we're actually looking at extending on to the lake house and doing like a cabin, like a 3-story loft. Hey, you're from Europe? Oh, you're in Europe, man? Wow, what part of Europe are you in, bud? That's awesome. What time is it over there? That's really cool. I'd like to know where are you? That's really cool. Thank you so much for checking us out, dude. That's really cool. So I'm going to answer that question on the cabin and the conventional loan. That's a great question. So anyway, the next thing that I wanted to go, the Czech Republic. Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool. What time is it over there? That's really neat, man. I appreciate you watching the show and the channel. So the next thing that wow, 2 a.m. Wow, and you're still awake? Jeez, you won't catch me up at 2 a.m. No, sir. I got to get up at 5 in the morning, man. So you're definitely. You can tell you got the wild heart. So the next thing that I wanted to kind of go over that we talked about is in regards to trade lines. So a lot of people aren't aware, and I'm staying on this. Oh, you live in Chicago, yeah. Yeah, well, Chicago, then you're Central Time. Maybe you're just on vacation or something. So Czech Republic, I heard is really cool. I heard it's a great place. I've known some people that from the Czech Republic. So I've never been there myself. I've heard it's a good place though. So anyway, I want to stay on this topic with credit because I think it's an important thing to discuss. And talking about trade lines, did you know that when you're trying to get a home loan, that your loan could get denied if you don't have a certain amount of trade lines? And trade lines are lines of credit reporting on your credit report. I see this all the time. Before I came on this show tonight, I was trying to help a lady to buy an $800,000 home here in Houston, and she didn't have enough trade lines. She just got out of a bankruptcy, and she only had one trade line. And the lender doesn't want to do the loan because she doesn't have established credit after the bankruptcy. So the thing that if you're trying to get a loan or financing, I don't care if it's a commercial loan, I don't care if it's a car loan, I don't care if it's a credit card, I don't care if it's a boat loan. So yeah, I bet it's crazy times, Andy. So you need to have a certain amount of trade lines to attract lenders to you. Okay? Otherwise, they're not going to want to do business with you if they don't see that you have the ability to repay and that you can manage your debt. So the bottom line of all this stuff is you need to have at least a minimum of 3 trade lines. Always remember this, a minimum of 3 trade lines. And ideally you want those trade lines to have depth of at least 2 years. So the magic number is I want 3 trade lines for at least 2 years old, and ideally $1,000 credit limit or higher, okay? That's what you're looking for when you're trying to get financing, okay? So you want to have like maybe a $10,000 Visa, $20,000 car loan, maybe another $5,000 or $10,000 credit card or whatever. But you want to show that, and you want to show these accounts are fairly old. Hey, Cherries, good evening. I hope you're doing well. What's your question now about, I'm sorry, about cashing out from a bank? Can you repost that question, Cherries? I saw something about wanting to cash out, something that so it didn't affect your disability. If you could repost that question, I'll make sure that I answer it, because I saw that you put something in there and I want to make sure that I answer that correctly. So if you could just please copy that question, repost it. You don't have to write it again, just copy it and then repost it, and then I can answer that again. So anyway, the bottom line is look at your credit report, get a copy of your credit report on MyFICO or annual credit, and look for 3 trade. You're looking for 3 accounts minimum. Now, more is okay, just don't have less than that, okay? And you want to have at least $1,000 or higher. And then you also want to have them for at least 2 years or older. And that's going to help you to get approved for a home loan. That's going to help you to get a good interest rate on your car loan, good interest rate on your credit card, all of these things that you're going to need. So shoot for 3 trade lines to ensure that you're going to get the best type of financing. It's going to be hard to ask to borrow $300,000 and buy a house if you just have one credit card with the $300 that you opened up a month ago. Lenders are going to be like, look, I can't trust you that you pay your bills on time because you don't have any trade lines. Okay, so trade lines are important. All right, so that's the second thing I wanted to go over. So let me answer this question on construction loans. One of our viewers asked a question earlier on construction loans. Is there a difference with construction loans on an arch cabin versus a conventional loan? And the answer is yes, it does. It does depend. Cabin financing can be difficult if you're trying to get loans for cabins. They're not the same as a conventional loan for a stick-built, a single family residence. And so the thing that what it's going to come down to is on cabin financing is in the area that you're building in, if you have similar structures to that cabin. In other words, if you're getting a cabin loan, is there other cabins within, let's just say, a 5-mile radius that the appraiser and the lender can compare to? Because if you're the only cabin in your area, the lender may not approve the loan because there's no other cabins to compare it to. They may look, you know what, there's no other cabins in the area. This is a unique home. Every other house is a metal home or a stick-built home. And they may deny the loan. They may not approve it. Or they may ask you to put a really big down payment. So the thing that you have to find out if you're doing a cabin home, or whether it's a prefab or ground up construction, is, is there other comparables? How does your bank, and also this is subject to the lender. Every lender is different. If you go with a local community bank, local to the area, they may have less restrictions on cabin financing versus if you go to a large institutional lender. But I would, Terry, yes, just pay everything cash and no trade lines. Yeah, it's not, I know, Terry, yeah, see? Yeah, unfortunately, if you got to play the credit game, and the credit game is, you got to have three accounts open. You got to just kind of work that system to your advantage to get a high credit score, because that's just how it is. And I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to show you how to play in them so that way you can be successful. So, but for arch cabins, yeah, I mean, it can definitely happen. My advice to you, I don't know where you are in the country, which loan would you recommend for a self-employed borrower that linked to rehab new house? Yeah, so what I would say in your case, good question. I'll answer that here in a second. Self-employed borrower type loans. Okay, I'll answer that here in a second. So going back to the cabin question, so basically, I don't know where you are in the country. My suggestion is go to your local community bank and ask them for a construction loan for your cabin. And if you can put 20% down, you should be okay, assuming you got good credit and income. I would not go to a large nationwide lender for a construction loan for a cabin. I wouldn't do that. I think it's not going to work. So that's my recommendation to you, to try that out, okay? So, okay, going to self-employed loans. Okay, you asked me a question about self-employed loans. What are the best self-employed loans? My suggestion on self-employed loans, now I'm assuming because the way you asked that question that you're not able to show your tax returns, or your tax returns don't have enough income to qualify. So if I use that assumption, and that's correct, then you want to look at non-QM loans, Navy Federal account, and an account with a local credit union. Go to Angelo or credit unions. Yeah, it depends. It depends on the type of loan that you're going. Sometimes it depends on the type of loan that you're getting. Sometimes credit unions are better, and sometimes I'm going to be better. It just depends on what you're doing. Obviously we can't cater to everybody. And so some lenders, some companies are better, and sometimes we're better. Like we're better with self-employed people. We're really good with self-employed people. It's just one of the things that we do. And a lot of lenders don't. A lot of lenders don't like dealing with self-employed. We have no problem with it. So in fact, we embrace it. So, but if you want to get a raw land loan, yeah, probably go to your credit union if you're trying to buy a raw land loan. Okay. So anyway, the best self-employed loans out there in the market right now are called non-QM, stands for non-qualified mortgage. You got it, brother. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. Non-qualified mortgage for self-employed. You don't need tax returns. You don't need W-2s. You don't need pay stubs. You have to show your bank statements. And you can use that for owner-occupied. You can occupy the residence as your primary residence. You just have to show your bank statements to qualify. And you can go up to usually up to $3 million loan, sometimes $5 million, but anything from minimum $150,000 all the way up to $5 million loan. No tax returns, no W-2s, no pay stubs, just your bank statements. And you're qualifying on the deposits of the bank statements, the income of your company. So let's say you own a pharmaceutical company and you're depositing 20 grand a month. They're using that with a certain percentage factor, usually 70% is what they'll give you credit for, sometimes 50 to 70% factor of what you can qualify for with the deposits. And they'll use that for the basis of the approval, okay? And they're really, really good loans, and they still have great rates. Interest rates are sometimes in the low 3 and 4%. No PMI, conventional financing. So really, really good loan program. So that's what I would recommend for self-employed if you can't use tax returns. We also have that same program for 1099 workers. If you can't show bank statements, but you can show a 1099. You work for a company, like I was doing a loan for a chiropractor. He couldn't show bank statements, but he could show a 1099 as a chiropractor. So you can do that too. You can use a chiropractor. Can you include renovations? Okay, renovations. Renovations then would have to be, if you're trying to do renovations, would have to be that would change the product type. There are bridge loan non-QM, and then there's perm loan non-QM. So what does that mean? That means that on a perm loan non-QM, conventional, you cannot include renovation. So you can't do a renovation loan. In other words, if you want to buy a property for $400,000 and you want to add a pool or add $50,000 to rehab, you can't do that on a perm loan renovation. On a bridge loan renovation, you can do that. So what does that mean? That means that it's a short-term loan for rehab, and it's usually 1099 can be proven, yeah. So no, that's true, Marie. Yeah, you can use the 1099 instead of a bank statement. So let's say that your 1099 showed $100,000 for the year. We can use that 1099 instead of the 12 months of bank statements. That's correct. So, but yeah, on the bridge loan, what would determine the down payment for the self-employed? The credit score. So credit score is 700 is 10% down, 660 to 699 is 15% down, and then 640 to 659 is 20% down. You put your cash in the account. Okay, Pink Lady, I saw your question. Anyway, can you, Angeli, can you repost your question? And Pink Lady, could you mind reposting your question? I'm sorry, I missed that. I missed those two questions. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, bridge loan, non-QM, you can use rehab. It's a 1-year interest-only loan. Interest rates are going to be high, though. Interest rates are starting like at 8 to 9%, and they go up from there because it's a short-term loan. There's going to be about 3 or 4 points attached to that loan, but it'll give you the money for the rehab. And then once the rehab's done, you can roll that over to a perm loan non-QM. Okay? So use the bridge loan non-QM for the rehab, then refi to the perm loan. That's the only way you can do that without doing a one-time close construction. The only one-time close construction requires full docs, and if you don't have that, you got to take the 2-step process. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, Pink Lady, I saw you posted something. I saw a few things. I'm sorry if I missed those questions. I know some people just posted some questions there. I want to make sure that I answer those. Person with late payments can't get any type of mortgage. No, so what we're saying is that you can get, so what we're saying is on the late payments, if you've had any, so the ruling is you can get a loan if you've had late payments, but if you've had late payments on installment loans, mortgage loans, and you've been more than 30 days late in the last 2 years, you have to wait until that time passes. Okay, so let's say that in 2 years, you had 2 30-day late payments, and then, but you're about to approach the 25th month. On the 25th month, then that late would fall off, and then you'd be okay, because you can have 1, you can have 2, but you can't have 3. So if you've had more than 2 30-day late payments in the last 2 years, you're not eligible for an FHA loan. Now, and it might be the same with conventional. They've tightened up on the credit requirements for conventional recently. So now I'm not saying that you can't get any loan. What is the average year salary you see people apply with? That's a good question. I've actually had no one ever ask me that. Average salary, I would say about per person is about $80,000 per person. Average year salary, somewhere around there. That's a good question. Generally, that's, I mean, on average, probably somewhere $80,000 per person. So you can still get a loan if you had late payments, but it depends on what the late payments are. I'll tell you if they're recent, it's going to be harder. It depends on the type of late. The type of lates I'm referring to are mortgage lates. If you had just a credit card late or a car payment late once or twice, that's still okay. We have jumbo loans, yes, for self-employed. Auto loan should be okay as long as it's not too bad and not too recent. Should be okay, Angeli. Jumbo loans, yeah, up to $2.2 million for jumbo non-QM self-employed with only 10% down. Up to $3.5 million with 20% down. So yeah, we can definitely hook you up on the jumbo self-employed. What about felonies? What do you mean, Charles, about felonies? Should I become a mortgage loan broker? Yeah, I think you should. I mean, why not? If you have a good connection, a good network of people, and you know people that need financing, I would recommend that you become a mortgage broker. I think it'd be a great idea. You know, I don't know on felonies. What are you asking? Can you get a loan with felonies? Is that what you're saying? No, we're still posting, Angela. It might be your. They don't check for felonies on home loans. They don't do now if you're when you're getting a home loan, they don't check for that. On commercial loans, they check for that kind of stuff. Commercial loans, they check on that. Home loans, they don't check on that stuff for felonies. They just check your credit report. Okay, it's a good question, but yeah, they don't check for felonies on a home loan. So. Okay, so I know that there were some other questions that were asked. I'm sorry if I missed those. You had 2 trade lines. You were advised to pay off your car. My question is, can I use both bank accounts with your program, or should I just transfer? Oh, on a bank statement loan, you can just use one bank account. On the bank statement loan, just one bank account. Marie, what I would say is, if you paid off the car and now you only have one trade line, they'll look at your closed trade lines, but if it gets too long and you don't open another one, it could be a problem. Ideally, my suggestion is always to have 3 open. No, the self-employed loans are no doc. The self-employed loans are bank statement only. Is what we have. We have full doc bank jumbo loans, full doc, conventional. But if you don't want to do a full doc, then you can just do the non-QM, which is the bank statement loan or the 1099 loan. You don't need tax returns or W-2s or pay stubs, and you can go up to, like I said, $3.5 million. And we even have super jumbo up to $5 million. And then there's even super jumbo up to $10 million. So just depending on what part of the country you're in. Like if you're in LA, oh, okay, I can do a show on that. I like that idea. We can do a show on that. I like that, Angela. We'll do a show. I'll make a note. I promise you we'll shoot a video of our house. So I like that. Yeah, we can do that. I've actually, a few people have asked us to do a show on that, and we'd be happy to, why not? We actually used to do a lot of networking events before COVID. And we have a lot of a lot of our followers, subscribers, customers come to our office. We have a big, huge office, and we have a big, huge open area, and we have a party there. We'd have catering. We would set up like this casino night, and you could do like they'd have blackjack, roulette, craps, full food, full drinks, full dinner. Could you speak about the jumbo loans you mentioned, please? That sounds great. Yeah, so the jumbo loans, we appreciate you, yeah. Sure. Basically, jumbo loans, obviously, when you go over a certain loan amount right now in the United States, and you go over $548,250, that's called the jumbo loan. And there's different types of jumbo loans. There's jumbo loans that are fully documented bank loans, and the divorce too. Okay, and then there's self-employed, stated bank statement type loans. So the thing that's cool about our company is that we offer both. Our whole thing is trying to be, trying to have a large buffet. But a good buffet, not a bad Chinese buffet, but a good buffet of, loan programs, right? So that way, when you guys ask us, hey, can you do this, can you do that? We have the program to help you, okay? And not only that, but we understand the program. We know if you can actually qualify for that product. So for self-employed, the self-employed bank statement jumbo loan, you can go up to a $2.2 million purchase price, okay? 2.2 million, and you only have to put 10% down. It's a 30-year fixed mortgage. Interest rates start at 4%. We go down to a 640 credit score on it. We have to verify the last 12 months of your bank statements. And then we have to verify your credit. You have to be self-employed for the last 2 years. You have to be proving your rent for the last year. So you can't be living rent-free. You have to prove your rent. You have to have 6 months of reserves. The closing costs are usually about, anywhere from 3 to 6%. You can get those rolled into the loan or paid by the seller. But if you meet all these requirements, then you can either have a brand new house built for you. You can purchase an existing home, and you can buy your dream home, and you don't need tax returns. You can go up to $2.2 million, just put 10% down. Or if you're really aggressive, you can go up to $3.5 million if you can put 20% down. But that's the jumbo self-employed loan, if that's what you're asking about. We specialize in that very loan. That is like one of our key loan products that we specialize in. We help top brokers, top people in their industry to get financing for that product for their home. Because a lot of the, where they bank at, they won't do the loan for them because they don't have tax returns. restaurant owners, like I said, chiropractors, entertainers, dancers, musicians, self-employed entrepreneurs, truck drivers. So they need financing too. So we're here to finance you guys when your bank doesn't want to finance you because you don't have the taxes. We are your non-QM, your private money specialist. So that's what those type of loans are. So I hope that helps answer your question about the jumbo self-employed. Great question, Terry. Generally, the survey is provided by the seller. Generally. Oh, and I have a lot of videos and podcasts on jumbo. A ton of videos on jumbo self-employed loans. Just search my YouTube channel. I think we've done at least 5 videos on jumbo self-employed. 10% down is the cheapest for a non-QM loan. That's right. 10% down is the cheapest for non-QM. Okay. So what else? Okay, the jumbo, we talked about that. Oh, the divorce. Let me go talk about the home loans and divorce. So, I know that, I'm sorry, which states require a mortgage license to work as a broker? Every state's going to require a mortgage license to work as a broker. The only way you don't need a license if you're doing commercial loans or hard money loans, then you wouldn't need a license. But if you're doing residential, you have to have a license, Charles. Every state that requires a license. So, good question. But Terry, generally the seller, yeah, we have a lot of videos on jumbo loans, a ton of them. Generally the seller pays for it. If the seller doesn't have the survey, then you may have to pay for it. It's all negotiation in the contract. Generally, the seller provides it. If the seller doesn't have one, then they may ask you to pay for it, and it's really up to you, a judgment call if you want to pay for it. They usually run about $350 for a survey. Okay? So, home loan and divorce now. Some of you guys watching the show or the channel, maybe you've been divorced, and maybe it's happened to you. The biggest thing to look out for is when you're getting divorced and you have you're up there with the judge and your ex, is being careful in a divorce decree about what you negotiate, what's going to belong to you, what's going to belong to them. Because what's going to be passed on to you, you got to take those debts with you to your new life, and you have to qualify with those debts when you go and try and purchase a home. In other words, if you were married and you had a house together and he's trying to stick you with the house, or she's trying to stick you, if he's trying to stick you with the house, and then now you go and try and buy another house with your new spouse, could be a problem, right? So the thing is that I just want to make sure you guys are aware of this, because if you're going through a divorce process, you have to be thinking about, the future. And do I want that car? Do I want that home? Because now, if I got that car, I got to qualify with that debt in my name, and it could affect you from getting approved for your new loan, whatever you're trying to do. And for some people, none of this stuff matters. Hey, Nick, what's going on? How are you? Thank you so much for watching the show. We really appreciate you, Nick. Hope you're doing good, brother. So some people, the biggest thing that I'm trying to tell you is be mindful of when you're negotiating a divorce, what debts that you want. I'll appreciate you, Ange. Thank you for sending the referrals. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We love and appreciate you. You're the best too. Thank you for all the support. So that means a lot to us. So the main thing is be careful about when you're negotiating a divorce of what you get added to the decree, because extra debt can hurt you. Now, the other thing I'll tell you is do not let your credit go during the process. Don't try to get back at them, him or her, and stop making your payments. Okay, because that will affect your credit score and hurt your credit score and hurt your chances for new financing after the divorce. Think about life after the divorce. Stay focused. You're going to get through this, and you're going to want to do a new life. And if you got crappy credit, it's going to be real hard to get financing. I'm just being straight with you. These are the calls I get. Got through a divorce, my credit's shot. What can you do? Thing is, if your credit's shot, we have to enroll you in a rehab program to fix your credit, to boost your credit score up. And that's going to take at least 6 months probably to get your score up and get that stuff deleted. So I'm not saying that you can't get funding and we won't help you. I'm just saying, just know these things in advance. Be careful what you negotiate in the decree. Don't let your credit go. Keep paying your bills. And then document everything. If he's getting the house, make sure it's in a decree. He's getting the house. He's making the payment. You don't make the payments. If she got the car, make sure she's making the payment to the lender. If you keep making the payment to the lender, it's going to be a problem for you because the underwriter. Awesome. Appreciate you, Nick. Thank you for trusting us and letting us help you, man. Appreciate that. So if you keep making the payment after the divorce and the judge said that goes to him, it's going to be a really hard time getting the loan because the underwriter is like, why do you keep making the payment? And they could go into your debt ratio. So you got to be careful with this stuff because a lot of people, I mean, it blows my mind. Like they don't, and I'm not saying this to be mad at anybody. It's just you got to be careful because you don't want to be spending trying to buy a house and now you can't get approved because you didn't do your divorce properly. You let your credit go, and now you have to rent for 2 more years because of these. You didn't think about this. So I'm just trying to tell you some of the stuff that I see. Hey, Donald, good to see you. Vegas is actually on fire, man. Las Vegas, we're doing a ton of business. Are you in Vegas, Don? Vegas market is doing really good. Where are you at? Don, what are you saying? What's free? Fry. You're asking about the Las Vegas market? Las Vegas is on fire. Oh, you're in Oklahoma City. Yeah, we do. We lend in Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma. It's all, we lend there. I mean, I love all the people in Oklahoma City. It's a great city for. I think there's really good people in Oklahoma. We've actually. I go there to WinStar sometimes. Oh, you picked up 4 clients in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is on fire, man. Yeah, I love Vegas. Vegas is a great city, high energy. I'm a high energy guy, so I like high energy places. So Vegas is a really cool city. I really like Vegas a lot. I think it's a great city. So my family are relocating to Las Vegas. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Vegas actually in October. We're gonna have a big conference up there that I'm doing. And so, yeah, Las Vegas is a great city. I mean, they got that new stadium. WinStar? I'll be in WinStar in November. I'll be in WinStar right after Thanksgiving, bro. So if you're there, I'll hit you up. Yeah, so we'll be in WinStar in November. Okay, Vegas will be there in October. We'll be at Caesars in Vegas. And so we're going to check that out. We got some stuff, we have an event and some business that we got to take care of. But yeah, Vegas is a great market. I'm surprised that it isn't even further along than what it is right now. But I think it's going to catch on. And I mean, it could be, turn into another LA. Not LA like, the bad side of LA, but LA like the strength of the market. And I think that if you're smart and you want to buy in Vegas, now's a good time because the market. Cool. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for watching us and watching the show. That's why we're here. So if you're buying in Vegas, I think you can get great prices. Florida is beautiful too. Yes, we are coming to. What do you think about driving this? Oh, that's a good question. Yes, Florida is Miami's. Where we have an office in Brickell, in Miami, Brickell, Florida, and we're going to be coming down there too. I'll broadcast this. Wow, you purchased 50 acres, amazing. Yeah, I think that area is just going to keep growing, and it's going to attract more economics. Like I said, you have the new stadium there, and you just have so much going on. It's a great area. And I really believe I'm definitely long on Vegas. I think it's a great, awesome spot. So, kudos to you for living there. I think it's a fun place. I love going there a lot. Yeah, Brickell, yep. What other banks said no? Angelo Christian said yes, it made my dream. Oh, appreciate you, Ange, yep. Awesome, I love it. Thank you so much for giving us the hope and the confidence, Ange. That means a lot to me. Thank you. That really does. I appreciate you guys always watching the show and the channel. And that's why we're here, to make a difference, to educate you. Obviously we're a company and we're here to service you, but we're here to also make friends, connect. A mortgage housing assistance dries up on 11/30. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's another thing too. There could be abundance of opportunities that come up when the foreclosures are released. There could be a great opportunities to purchase foreclosures. We do foreclosure loans. So if you want to purchase one of those properties, we could be here to help you with that. So on that question about San Antonio, San Antonio, I'm not 100% certain. San Antonio it's a beautiful area. I love San Antonio. The thing is, I think that you're seeing as we get into the fall and the holidays and the end of the year, it's going to slow down a little bit. I think we'll ramp back up in the spring of next year. So I think you have people going back to school, the new COVID scare. San Antonio, it's an okay city. It's not like Austin. It's not like Dallas. So it's not going to always be a front runner city, right? It's a great city. I love San Antonio, but it's not as strong as Austin or Dallas or even Houston for that matter. So I think you have these different factors that are at play. It won't disqualify you. I think that, no, having late payments will not disqualify you for a loan, but if you have excessive late payments and they're recent, it could hurt your credit score and it could affect your approval, okay? So it won't disqualify you. If you want to let the late payments pass. You said about buying repos, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now could be a good time to buy repos as foreclosures hit the market. And you could wholesale them or you could flip them yourself and make money. I think either way is good. So either way you can do well. You got to have a plan. You got to have capital in place. You got to be strategic. You're welcome, Melody. So you got to have the money in place. You got to have a crew, an exit strategy, all this stuff. Okay, so just don't go in there and buy properties. You got to really know what you're doing. Just do one if you're new, and figure out that one first. If you're experienced and you're doing really well, then yeah, you can go crazy and buy 10 or 100. So anyway, good questions, really good questions tonight. I appreciate you guys always watching the show and the channel. Means a lot to me because without you guys we wouldn't be here. So we're here for you to add value, to change your life, to enhance your life. I look forward to meeting all of you guys one day, whether you come to my office here in Houston where I actively work, or we go to one of our other offices, whether it's in Vegas, Oklahoma City, Miami. We'd love to meet all of you guys, and we appreciate all your support. We're here for you guys. And title reports, who does them? Title company, Charles. Chicago Title, Fidelity Title, Stewart Title, B&T. Check with them and they'll be able to get, yeah, Chicago. I love Chicago. Chicago is beautiful. Chicago has some of the best restaurants. Thank you, Ange. We appreciate that. I know. We fixed your credit. Your credit score went up like 72 points. And we got you approved for a low rate loan. So I do remember that. So I appreciate you watching the show on the channel. Yes, well, this will repost. Yes, you can rewatch this again. This will repost. Oh, the Nobu Hotel? Wow. Wow, I've actually eaten at Nobu before. Very good restaurant, yeah. Chicago, you have some of the most Michelin restaurants in the world in Chicago. Yes, I will hit. I'm going to hit you up, man. I'm going to do that. Oh, thank you. We appreciate you for watching the show and the channel. Yes, we'll definitely come and see you guys. So, anyway, yeah. Please, again, if we can help you with anything, we're here for you. We appreciate all you guys. We love you. Let me do this giveaway so I can get you guys this money. Oh, Hawaii. Yes, invite me to Hawaii. I'll be down in Hawaii anytime. We do have the investor lines of credit open. The investor lines of credit's open back up. That opened up in the beginning of the year. So we have the investor lines of credit. It's up to $10 million for fix and flip, ground up construction, multifamily. So we have that investor line of credit again. That's back. So all that's back. I'm sorry if I didn't announce that. That's been back for like the beginning of the year. So we're good on the investor line of credit. So anyway, let's go ahead and get you guys this money. So going back to we do the Amazon giveaway every Thursday. We do this Amazon giveaway. It's whoever answers the question first and correctly. So it's not just answering the question first because it could be incorrect. So you have to answer it first, and it has to be answered correctly. You win the free Amazon gift card. Okay. So banks maxed extension today to do 3 AU on personal credit. Wow. That's an interesting topic. I didn't know that, Don. See, you're teaching me, man. I like that. See, we teach each other. We help each other. I like that. See, I didn't know that today. That's a good topic. That's very interesting. I'm going to have to research that. I do like that you brought that up. Thank you, Don, for mentioning that. I really appreciate that. I did not know that. I'm going to write that down. I really thank you, man, for doing that. So, see, we help each other. See, I don't know everything. Other people know stuff. We all collaborate. It's a network of helping each other. So, love it. So, anyway, the magic question that I want to ask you guys, and whoever answers it first is going to win the free $100 Amazon gift card. So, the question is, how long do you have to be out of your late payments before you can qualify for an FHA loan? So the question is, how much time has to pass before you can qualify for your FHA loan if you had late payment? 2 years. Angela got it. Good job. Good job, Angela. You did it again. All right. Man, this guy is a machine. Angela, you got it again, man. How much money have you won, buddy? Angela, how much money have you won? I can't believe it, man. You won again. I got to think you're close to $500 now. It's got to be somewhere around there, because you pay attention, man, and you win. 250. No, you've won more than 250. I thought. Oh, okay, 350. Okay, mate, I thought it was more than that. So, cool. Well, do me a favor, because send me your email just one more time. We probably have it saved on file now because we've been paying you so much. But send me your email, and then we'll hook you up, guys. We appreciate all you guys watching the show and the channel. It was very fun tonight. Had a great time with all you guys. Take care. Peace out. We love you. Make the most of yourself. We'll see y'all next week, 7 p.m. Central. Angelo Christian. Take